New polling from the New York Times. And, man, it ain't good for Pops. It ain't good for Pops. Sorry there, big guy.
What are we talking about?
But here we go. A new set of New York Times Siena polls shows that Donald Trump leads in 5 key states as young and non-white voters express discontent with Joe Biden. Donald Trump leads Joe Biden in 5 crucial battleground states, a new set of polls show, as a yearning for change and discontent over the economy and the war in Gaza among young Black and Hispanic voters threaten to unravel Joe Biden's Democratic coalition. The survey by the New York Times, Siena College, and the Philadelphia Inquirer found that Donald Trump was ahead among registered voters in a head-to-head matchup against Joe Biden in 5 of 6 states: Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. The only one Joe Biden had a lead in one of these battleground states was Wisconsin. That's it. So, wow. And by the way, if Trump's leading in the polls, then you know, with the way that these pollsters operate, with the way that there are not many hidden Biden voters and there's a lot of hidden Trump voters, these numbers are probably even worse than this poll would suggest. So, and next time somebody comes up to you, you know, some boomer with a paid-off house comes up to you and says, oh, my 401k is doing great. Okay, young people aren't buying it. And it's young people across the ideological spectrum are not buying that this guy has done a damn good for them. Stock market's doing great because big tech is on fire. Big tech, the Magnificent Seven, are on fire because of their innovation. Not because of anything Pops is doing here for the economy at large. That's not what's going on. So anyway, here's what's amazing in this poll. And remember, this is focused on the keys. Let's be honest. It's going to come down to these 6 states, most likely. All right? And Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Donald Trump and Joe Biden are essentially tied among 18 to 29-year-olds and Hispanic voters, even though those 2 groups gave Joe Biden more than 60% of their vote in 2020. If that holds up in November, it's over. Trump's getting 300-plus electoral votes with ease. Also, here in this New York Times poll, Donald Trump also wins more than 20% of Black voters. That was about double what he got 4 years ago. A tally that would be the highest level of Black support for any Republican presidential candidate since the enactment of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. If these things come to fruition, and I'm not saying that they will, there's, a long 6 months ahead. A lot can happen. A lot can change. You don't know who's actually going to show up. We know, Democratic Party is very good at mobilizing its people and, getting them out and getting them to vote and doing that whole deal. We know how that plays out. But if this poll in these swing states are any indication of what's to come, Donald Trump could win this thing running away. And it's not necessarily because people love Donald Trump. It's because they've realized a couple of things. This guy in the White House right now is not who he built himself as 4 years ago. The steady, stable hand, the moderate man who's going to bring politics back to the middle. That's not who Joe Biden is, as he probably will attempt to bail out more student loans this week against the ruling of the Supreme Court. I'm just, spitballing that. Hey, I'm doing bad with young voters again in this New York Times poll. What do I do? All right, illegally bail out more of their student loans. Right? But it is going to be a bloodbath for him, potentially, if these numbers hold up. Now, state by state, by the way, I think this is important as well. What are we looking at? So only a couple of these states are even within the margin of error. New York Times has Donald Trump up 7 in Arizona. They've got him up 7 in Michigan. They've got him up 10 in Georgia, all states that Joe Biden won. And they got him up 12 in Nevada. In Pennsylvania, Trump's up 3, 47 to 44. And then in Wisconsin, Joe Biden's up 2 points. Those are the 2 states within the margin of error. So I always like to look, too, in these polls. I like to look at the basically see how they tabulated this thing and actually look into some of the numbers. And to bring it back to what, the New York Times just referenced here when it comes to race and ethnicity. Some of the numbers as well that should be noted. If the 2024 presidential election were held today, who would you vote for? If the candidates were Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Robert F. Kennedy, Jill Stein, Cornel West, they put the third-party folks on there. With white voters, Donald Trump up 46-33 in these swing states. With black voters, Joe Biden up 49-14. Which you might say, yeah, that's big, but once again, it's not that good. Right now, in swing states, less than 1 in 2 black voters are going to vote for Joe Biden. I mean, that's horrible. That's absolutely terrible. We got to get that Biden drop from, what's his name show? Oh, the guy in New York, the talk show host. You don't vote for me, you ain't black. Right, that one. Charlemagne the guy. That's right. John listens to him before we get the show started every morning. But like less than 1 in 2 black voters in these swing states right now are a lock for Joe Biden. And Hispanics, dead even. 31-31, Biden-Trump. 14 for RFK. This is a coalition that Joe Biden has relied on and the party has relied on for decades. And they're losing it right now.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yeah, he's got to break that one out again here pretty soon. That's right. He's going to have to bring that one back. Oh, man. Well, listen, Donald Trump's got to be doing cartwheels seeing this poll this morning in the New York Times as he gets ready for another day in court. I mean, the guy came off of a monster rally in Wildwood, New Jersey over the weekend. A sleepy Jersey Shore town of 2,700 people, half the size of Tonganoxie. Think about that. It's not like it's summer season either there. It's not like there were 100,000 people roaming the boardwalk. That's not what was going on. Got 100,000 people to show up on the beaches of Wildwood, New Jersey for a rally on Saturday. And, considering Joe Biden couldn't fill a phone booth if he had a free rally, it just goes to show you there is something going on. And this trial, I know Fox and CNN cover this thing ad nauseum, and they kind of have to, but there's nothing about this that's compelling. They're treating this like it's O.J. Simpson. It's not O.J. Simpson. No one cares about the facts. Everyone understands this is all political. Whether you love Trump or you hate Trump, you understand it's political in large part, right? So that's why the day-to-day doesn't matter to me. And I don't think it matters to most people. But they're acting like the facts of this case. Oh, what's going to come out today from Michael Cohen? I mean, who cares what's going to come out from Michael Cohen?
He's a cuckoo bird.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What it's about is how does the trial impact the politics for the next 6 months? And it appears to be backfiring. Donald Trump is a hard guy to turn into a sympathetic figure. I think most of us can admit that. But they've managed to do it with the nonstop legal issues, with clearly pursuing a guy because of who he is, not because of what he's allegedly done, but very simply because of who he is. And if you've made Donald Trump a sympathetic figure, let's be honest, you've screwed up royally. And that's what they've managed to do here.